Welcome to another episode of Boxed In, our Yahoo Sports podcast, where while we're all boxed in, literally at home, we've decided that the most healthy way to get through this together is by arguing with each other. So on today's episode, in doing that, I, Matt Harmon, am joined by two of my Yahoo Sports colleagues, Jay Busbee and Hannah Keyser, who will be helping us decide what is the best month. And I know we're going to take into factors like the sports calendar and the weather, which is great that you guys have me judging this as someone that lives in LA. I'm an expert on all types of weather and seasons. So today, Jay, I think I'm going to let you start off here and present your case for the month of April.
All right. I would like to begin, Your Honor, by asking that we exclude April 2020 from our discussions because I cannot possibly defend this in any way. If we start with 2019 and work back, April is the month that spring truly begins. And Hannah may disagree with me depending on what weather it's like where she is, but where I am, April is where the warmth comes in. You could get out on the porch, you could drink a beer, you could kick back. The summer's not here yet roasting you. To me, we'll start with the weather, and it's just an absolutely perfect month.
I'm going to resist the urge to immediately rebuttal and immediately say that if you have to disclude the current month we're living in, I didn't want to go there. It's coronavirus. Just saying, there was no coronavirus in September. But I thought about recording this podcast outside just so you could see how bad the weather is in April. But before we get there, I will make an argument in favor of September. Now, September gets a bad rap in your brain because you associate it with going back to school. But what are we? Children, please grow the F up. And remember that September is a great month that under-promises and over-delivers. And as far as school calendars are concerned, I am pretty sure that unloading your kids on the government for 8 hours a day is actually a benefit in terms of months. It is truly the perfect month. It is September weather, but without the sense that summer is it is summer weather without the sense that summer is slipping away because it already has. Post-Labor Day, you're back at work, but you're also tanned, rested, and ready to tackle the last productive chunk of the year while still taking advantage of perfect outside temperatures on the actual weekends without the weird pressure of August and everyone going away all the time. It's perfect.
Here's where I need to, if we're gonna throw this back and forth, here's where I need to have Hannah come watch a Braves game in September, because oh my God, summer has not left. Summer in where I am is hanging around like a house guest that just won't get the hell out of the house. So this is where we're gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, again, I don't know if we need to talk about weather, because
weather is such a big deal in New York, though. I pulled facts for this. The average temperature in Central Park, April, 55 degrees, September, 70 degrees. Which one would you rather be sitting outside a baseball game at?
There's baseball at Central Park?
Well, there's baseball in New York.
I know. No. Matt, go ahead. Pull us out of this weather spiral before we go any further down this hole.
Yeah, the reality is, again, just from a pure personal standpoint, I can't relate to any of this weather talk that we're having right now because today looks the same as 2 weeks ago, and it'll look the same 2 weeks from now. So I get it. Those are good, compelling arguments. But I think Hannah brought up a good point about the school system here in particular, because look, again, yeah, I'm totally with you, Hannah. Children grow up. School is good for you in the long run. Maybe be a little forward thinking here. Also, I got to think too, most parents at this point would be dying to send their kids the hell out of the house now that they're stuck with them. So that's a good point. But I do want to transition to the sports calendar part of it, because both of these are two pretty central sports months especially in a normal world. So let's take that out of it. Hannah, talk to me about September and what would normally be going on in the month of September.
All right. Well, the big thing is you get baseball playoff races, which takes the best part of baseball, the omnipresence it's on all the time, and amps up the stakes. So there are some meaningful sports games on every single night. And sure, some teams are effectively out of it. But from a sheer mass appeal perspective, you get the most number of people getting to watch the most number of meaningful sports games every week or every night or every month or every September. And also football, NFL, and college is on if you care about that, but I don't.
I care a lot about it. So that's
Yeah, I was going to say, don't be so quick. I might even make your argument for you there if you're going to add in NFL and college football.
So you're saying that would be a point in favor of September?
I am willing to. I am willing to concede that it is fun watching football in September. Yes, I will concede that point.
Well, now that you've conceded that point, and given a little bit of credit to your opponent here, give me some appeal to April. What are we hyped about? That we're still in April. And obviously it's not normal, but what would we be normally hyped right now?
What better day in sports is there than opening day? Hannah, come on, you've got to agree with me this. There is no better day in sports than opening day of the baseball season. Every team is tied with one another for the playoff race. Every team has hope. Of course, half of them bail out after the first day, but you know what I'm talking about. Not only that.
Do you know what day opening day was scheduled for this year?
I know. It was March 20th. I know. I'm talking traditions here. I'm also going to flip that around and say that March Madness ends in April, so I'm going to take credit for that too. All right. Yes, I know precisely by the calendar. We don't have. It's ridiculous. Baseball now backs up to March. It's going to back up even further. But for right now, I'm going with opening day, or at least the opening weeks of the season. I think we can concede that. Not only that, NCAA championship ends in April, even though it's March Madness. It always ends in April. Right after that, you've got the Masters. Again, whether or not you care about golf, a lot of people do. It's an amazing event. It's one of the landmarks of the calendar. And then one that Matt, I think, will enjoy very much, the NFL draft. That was this past weekend. That's always in April. Yes, it means nothing in terms of game scores, but it's a chance for NFL fans to have hope and faith and prayer. And then finally, you've got the NHL and the NBA playoffs starting. That's a whole lot of sports all packed into 1 month.
If you were talking about quantity of sports, though, so I sort of breezed through football, both professional and college, but we got kids going back to school. In terms of playing sports, September is when all the college athletes get back. All these sports that maybe you or I don't care about, kids, they're getting back to their teams. They're getting back to their squash and their gymnastics or whatever it is they're doing in NCAA. But that is again, if we're talking mass appeal and sheer numbers, I got to say there are more college kids who play sports in fall than there are people who care about the NHL playoffs.
I think you both have a good argument with quality. I mean, quality and quantity. I think you guys both have good arguments with quantity. That's for sure. I will, if I could peel back your baseball arguments here, and I think this is important to the larger point, which is number one, Hannah, yours is a cold, hard reality that I actually really like, which is, look, you're right. Not every team is involved, but the teams that matter are involved. And that speaks to me personally, because in covering the NFL, it gets to about November, and I don't want to talk about the damn Giants anymore. Those teams that just, they don't matter. They haven't mattered in months. So I like that. Jay, though, it's a pure optimistic play, which is, look, this is the beginning of the baseball season. We're in the origins here where everybody theoretically has hope. And I like that too. Now, I think you guys have made good, compelling arguments about weather. You've made good, compelling arguments about the sports calendar. And I want to open it up to pretty much anything else that you have. And I want to specifically tease out clothing, because there's fall fashion, there's spring fashion at play here. And you could argue that one is better than the other. So kind of give me your sort of closing arguments in terms of the other things that are appealing about your months.
All right. Well, I alluded to this idea that September is kind of the extra summer. It's the summer after the summer. It's the summer when you're no longer on vacation, but you're getting summer weather for dressing. You're also getting the benefits of having been out enjoying the sun. So you're looking good. You've been having fun all summer. You've gotten tan, you've gotten fit, and now you get to show off. You're back in the city, you're back at work, you're back taking your life seriously, but with the benefits of getting to wear dresses or short sleeves or sandals or whatever it is. Don't wear sandals in the city. It's disgusting. I want to take some quick shots at April before I round out my closing arguments, which is just to say that, look, I understand that April gets a little bit of an added boost because it comes at the end of the roughest month in the calendar. It is definitely a relief to get to April. I understand that. It's true in terms of baseball. You've had the long off season, and it's true in terms of weather. So we can apply that to both the sports and the weather. But you really don't want the best thing about your month to be the fact that it's not February anymore. And also, what is the one thing we know about April? April showers bring May flowers. It is part of the selling pitch of April that this weather will pay off eventually in some other different month down the line. You should have just gone with May. And in conclusion, Please wake me up when September starts. I do not want to miss the best month.
You set me up there for the famous Green Day song, but I'm going to let that one slide, and I'm going to make a couple of points in favor of April that I think will sway my case. Number one, who was born in April? Robert Downey Jr. and Emma Watson. We got Iron Man, we got Hermione, we got both of them. We got Leonardo da Vinci, and we got Eddie Murphy. The birthstone of April, the diamond, the most valuable birthstone of any month in the year. And finally, April is big enough to include both April Fool's Day, which is a terrible day on the internet, but a wonderful day in your house, and also Earth Day, which everybody can agree is probably a day that we ought to be celebrating a little more than we are.
I don't know. I feel like Earth on this particular Earth Day was like, hey, please stay the hell away from me. All right.
Exactly.
I'm enjoying a break. I'm enjoying a break from you guys. I mean, I can see very much farther than I normally could in this city. I'll tell you that. Well, you both have made really compelling arguments, but I am ready to give my verdict as to who think I made the best case. And I am going with September. Yes! I'm going with Hannah here. I think her sports calendar, look, maybe I'm being a little biased here because I love the NFL. I love college football. I love that whole situation. But I think that's a good start of it. I love the part about it's the conclusion of the baseball season, not just because then it's over, but also it's when the two best teams will eventually meet up. It's when everything kind of comes to a head. But you got baseball playoffs, like you said. I think that's a great part of it. And look, I thought actually really where you sold me, Hannah, was the dig on April with the April showers part of it, because I hate the rain. It doesn't rain very often in my city, but I have 2 dogs, and when it does rain, I still got to get my ass out in the rain. That was a very key point. Jay, any closing words here from you in terms of how wronged you feel, this, that, or the other?
Well, I was going to advise you both because I'm looking out the window now and it's about 72 degrees and blue skies. And I was going to both invite you both to have a drink on my porch, but we'll have to do it virtually.
All right. Well, we'll all get out on our porches and we'll fire up another Google Hangout or something. We'll do that a different time. But thank you guys both so much for presenting. Actually, was a very tough decision. Honestly, I came in here unclear if I liked either of these months, and now
we gotta know, what was your favorite month? What month would you have argued for?
I would have gone with October because
I'm a solid choice.
I'm a fall guy. Again, I don't really care about other sports beyond football. It's a good month of football season. You got Halloween in there. November is either October or November. You get to start throwing the flannel on. It's an exciting time. I do
love the baseball postseason in October, and I considered it. It just gets so dominated by Halloween. You can't have a whole month where you're wearing orange and black.
I mean, black is very slimming, so I like to go with the black. especially after the quarantine. I might really just go transition to all black. But hey, everybody's got their opinions, and let us know. Get us on social media. Let us know what your favorite month is, and of course, make sure you're still tuning into Boxed In every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, and you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on yahoosports.com. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Hannah, for joining me, and everyone else out there. Continue to listen, and we'll see you later.